I would indulge you to please listen to me. Whatever you can take home with you, take it with your heart. I wish I had somebody say these things to me when I was where you are today. And trust me, I was once where you are. So welcome to an interesting, a new chapter, the beginning of an amazing life if you decide to go on that route with me. You can do it. No one was born a leader. You make yourself one. And I want to applaud you for even being here. It says a lot to me that you're ready to learn. You want a difference in your life. You want to move from where you are to another level. It says a lot to me. Nowadays, a lot of our youth are more connected to the social media. They'd rather be on the internet. Reading, I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, as long as you time yourself and you add value to yourself. But here you are. You have a jotter with you, you have a pen, and you're listening. You can never find this on social media. This time that you're spending here, you can never buy it back. Who agrees with me? Ever since attending this lecture, has value been added to you, yes or no? Can you put a price to that value? Can you put an amount of money to say, okay, I've learned this from this lecture. It is worth about this amount of money. Is that possible? What does that say to you? It is your fault if you leave here the same way. It is totally your fault if after every lecturer has spoken and everything has been said to you, you leave, and by the time I come next year by His grace, you remain the same or you're where you are. It's totally your fault. So I challenge you today. I want you to have a target for yourself. Where are you today? And where do you want to see yourself in the next 6 months? It is, I want to be a leader. What are the qualities of a leader? Who is a leader? What difference are you making in your community? What difference are you making in your family? What impact are you making in your generation? Are you just happy commenting on blogs? Or are you an entrepreneur who has said that I'm going to make this, I'm going to make it a step at a time? Are you somebody who has said that I'm going to find a mentor who's going to mentor me through this? Are you somebody that you know that if you raise a voice and you say this is wrong, you stand by it? Or do you have a price? If I say to you, something is wrong, but say it is right and I'll give you this amount of money, you have put a price tag on yourself. Leaders are not born, leaders are made, which says to me that everyone in this room here has the qualities to be a leader. It is a choice and a decision. Who agrees with me? Let me see your hands up. If you believe leaders are made, let me see your hands up. I can't see your hands. If you believe leaders are born, let me see your hands up. Why do I have half hands up? Believe in what you believe. Leaders are born. Can I see your hands up? Leaders are made. Can I see your hands up? You're not sure where you belong. Let me see your hands up. Okay, so we have some indecisive people in this room. I'm glad that you believe that leaders are made. You necessarily don't have to be in politics to be a leader. Who agrees with me? You know you can lead by example. You can lead in your organization. That's where it starts from. And that's what I am here to talk to you about today. I was a very young girl when I started working. A lot of my friends would have extracurricular activities during holiday times. But you know, guess what I would do? I would look for work. I would go and intern. I was learning. I was a receptionist at 16. I was earning 10,000 naira. At the time, it was a lot of money. To me now, it may not be a lot of money, but at the time, it was a lot. But it wasn't the money that I was interested in. I was learning on the job. I was learning how to run an organization. I was learning how to be disciplined to wake up at 5 a.m. I was learning to understand myself if I was a 9 to 5 person or I was an entrepreneur. I wanted to know where I was going. A lot of my friends made fun of me. Why are you doing a reception? How can you be a receptionist? I did this throughout university. Every holiday I had, I made sure I got a job. Even after I won a beauty competition and I was earning a salary every month I was being paid a salary. I had extra things coming in. I still made sure that I got a job every holiday to work at an oil and gas company. And what was I doing with the money? The money I was earning that early, I would go to the Ministry of Alausa, lands, and I started buying land. I could have bought myself a beautiful car. I could have bought myself clothes and bags and shoes, which were, don't get me wrong, I love, and are always in fashion. And it's expected at that age that you don't want any delayed gratification. You just want to have fun and show off. But I knew exactly what I wanted from life. I was running my own race. I was on my own journey. And nothing was going to take me off course. I bless God for my mom and my dad, for the discipline they instilled in me. Because that helped me. It helped me to be content, and it helped me to understand who I was. If I tell you that the investments I made those years back, when I look back today, I am eternally grateful. You know why? The best time to plant an iroko tree is today. I'm talking about 20-something years ago. To be precise, 20 years ago. You are here today. You're not always going to be here. But what are you doing with your resources that you have? Resource is just not money. Your time, your talent, your skill, your energy. What are you doing with it? Are you using the nation as an excuse? Everybody knows Nigeria is tough. It will always be tough. Yes or no? You need to pull yourselves out. You have to make up your mind that if I can do this, if Dangote could do this, I can do this. My journey continued through life like that. And I started to understand myself that I'm not sure I'm a 9 to 5 person. But it helped me. I started learning where my strengths were. So in the company, they would organize parties, and I'm the one that they would call to supervise everything. And I found out that I love to turn spaces. Like, I love to turn an empty room into beautiful spaces. I had a passion for it. You don't even have to pay me for it. And I started just at the very beginning with no profit on my mind. I just wanted to satisfy a client. And I took on my first ever job as an entrepreneur. I planned a 2,000 capacity event outside Lagos. And guess what? Learn from me. I had no prior experience. I had no prior training to the industry I was throwing myself into. Never jump into an industry you know nothing about. So I made my mistakes. When I got there, I was the planner, I was the caterer, I was the drinks person, I was the sweeper, I was the tent organizer, I was everything. But because I was so organized, and it's something that I love with a passion, they didn't see any fault in anything I did, but I saw loopholes. After that event, I went back. I took a course, and I said, if I'm going into this industry, I'm going to learn about this industry, I'm going to get certified, I'm going to know my needs and grits. I want to dot all my I's and cross all my T's. Knowledge. I started gaining knowledge. I learned, I studied, I did courses online. I went to people who were already in the industry. I submitted myself. I worked for them to understand the dynamics of the industry. And I launched out. And I have never looked back since then. And I'm so eternally grateful to God that I am where I am. But I've just told you this little story, not to keep you entertained, but to challenge you that if Ibiduni, Olajumoke, Itwa Olajide Ighodalo, I wasn't born from a rich home. I grew up in Ibidun. As a matter of fact, I was my grandma's baby. I wasn't born with a silver spoon. If I could challenge myself, and I keep shifting the goalpost, I haven't stopped though. I haven't stopped. Do you all remember at the time in Lagos where Lagos used to light up for Christmas? Do you remember? Do you know how that idea, did you love that idea? Do you miss it? How many of you can do such projects? Let me see your hands up. If you know you are inclined to beautify a space. How many of you? Are you registered? Are your companies registered? Yes? No? Yes? No. I'm going to put you through a bit of a test after this program. Okay? Those of you that raised up your hand, please see me after the program here before I go. What I'm trying to tell you is this. Make sure you are an innovator. Be the first to do something. Let everybody run after you. Think out of the box. What somebody says is impossible, make it possible. You have to have the strength, the character of a leader to survive in this nation. I'm challenging you today. You can be anything you want to be. The distance between where you are right now and where you want to be is yourself. How far you're ready to push yourself, how far you're ready to learn, how far you're ready to go, and how principled you're ready to be. I am not going to deceive you. It's not going to be a smooth journey. People people are going to test your honesty, they're going to test your integrity, they're going to put a price on your value. You don't need to sleep with any man to get by in life. I am standing here telling you proud. If anybody should ask you for such, that means you're not bringing any value to the table. That means there's nothing else they can get from you that they can't get from somewhere else. If you have something that they need, that will be secondary. And it is your choice to say yes or no. But never say yes, because you're putting a price tag to yourself. You don't need any woman to intimidate you or make you feel like because she's made, you can't get to where she's been to. No. You are who you believe you are. If I walk into this place, this Ankara I'm wearing is 2,000 naira. But I am carrying it with so much grace. I am so proud of the Ankara. You cannot stand there and laugh and make me feel I'm wearing a 2,000 Ankara. You know why? I feel like I'm wearing a 2 billion naira worth of Ankara because the Ankara doesn't make me, I make the Ankara. I want you to look at yourself like that. Don't let a born where you are box you into a corner. They have the privilege. I didn't have it. And if I'm standing here telling you I didn't have it, and God has been amazing and has done it for me, it means you can do it. And you can do much better than I can. Because you have what I didn't have at the time. You have social media. You have the internet skills. Your generation is different from our generation. The information you have at our hand, we didn't have it. This type of platforms, you have to pay through your nose to hear some people speak. You have no excuse to be where you are. Thank you. Can somebody hear me? Can somebody hear me? The first thing I know, and I said it earlier on, that the fact that you're here, you have already made an impression on me. I know you are teachable, ready to learn, ready to move from this level you are to another level. It speaks volume. The rest is your choice. The decisions you make from today, how hard you work, how focused you are, how resilient you are, how bold you are. All this and much more will take you to greater heights in your career and in your life. If there's anybody you want to be like, Google the person, read about the person, read about the person's story, and be inspired. I trust and I hope that by the time I come next year, I would find a few people in here that would say to me that this is where I was last year. And after this lecture, it changed.
Make it louder, please. Make it louder, please. Well, in summary, you must have a target for yourself. You know, we've been saying this since morning. You must own your path. You must have passion. Then what difference do you want to make? What impact do you want to make within your community, even from your household. Then, who are the kind of character you aspire to be? Who are you looking up to? Who is your mentor? And of course, majority of us agree that leaders are made. Abi? Are you with this? Are you with me? That we agree that leaders are made. And to some of you, I believe you've started the journey today. Right? Right? Again, she said, then what are you doing with the resource you have? That is, what are you doing with your talent? What are you doing with your passion? Then, that you must never go or venture into a business you know nothing about. It means knowledge is power. You must acquire knowledge. You must follow those who know. You must learn from others. Then, you must be creative. You must be an innovator. And you must be the first to do certain things. And you don't want to be follow. You want to be different. So you must be creative. Then, you know, since morning, the morning we talk about value proposition, we talk about integrity. Abi? So she said, you must have the strength and character of a leader. Then that integrity matters. And that you shouldn't allow your situation to hold you down. You must be focused. You know, I told you at the beginning that she will be here briefly. Then I urge you to listen. I told you to listen attentively that those who were here last year, today have some testimonies. So, you want to ask one or two questions, right? So, raise up your hand, you want to ask some questions. Yeah, number 1. 2, okay, 3. Number 1. 1.
UAC. My name is Ibidun from My name is Tajudeen from. My name is Tajudeen from Olifakojai. How can we redeem the image of the police officer in Nigeria? I have a case study whereby the police arrested some people without being a suspect, without being commit any crime. They will just lock up the person, either a woman or a man. I want to know the reason why they lock up more than 24 hours. There is a case study whereby a police officer.
Please ensure that your questions are within the ambit of what the presenter has done. If you need any clarification on the issues or the statement or pronouncement by Mrs. Ighodalo, that is what you raise. If you want to seek clarification or you need anything that you want her to expatiate upon or that you feel that she has not even mentioned but relevant to the issue of your own success or your own ability to become a leader, those are the relevant ones. The other general questions are meant for mentorship section where you talk about general things. But here specifically, each topic you must address within the context. Okay? Yes. So any other person that wants to interrogate anything, that want to ask any question?
Hello everyone, my name is Bankole Manuel from Ighodalo. Now, my question goes thus. You mentioned about discovering yourself. You cite an example of yourself trying to figure out whether you are a 9-to-5 person. Yeah, so, and I want to use myself as an example. Okay. Should I say I can't say I have many talents, but I like doing many things. But I have one specific thing I'm doing. It's programming. Okay, so I do programming, but I see myself doing many things, and I still want to do it. But I'm thinking if I ventured also into that, I might lose out totally in what is actually making something for me. Yeah, and how will I be able to maintain? Should I go for the others, and or should what should I do to just remove the inquisitor? I don't know how to put it.
Well, she doesn't seem to get your question. You have so many talents, but you prefer one.
I do one.
Yeah, you do one.
Which is making some things for me.
Which yes. What?
Money from it. I understand. That is making money from me. For me, yes. But I see for myself doing something. Should I say, I don't know how I'm going to maintain it. Because anytime I think of venturing into that, I think I lose out from this aspect I'm doing. Yes. So, yes. It was a YouTube. I'm kind of taking engineering something also. Engineering. Yes. So I don't know how I'm going to maintain it. So maybe I should leave one for one or.
Okay, let me ask you, are you still in school? Okay, what did you study? Electrical engineering. But now you're doing programming. Software programming. Are you your own boss or you work somewhere? You don't want to go back to school and finish school? Okay, to finish your course, right? Okay. To maintain. Okay, so the programming you're doing is to help you pay through school. Original plan. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so please sit down. So do we all understand what he's saying? Okay, let me try, just in case I understand where you're coming from. You study electrical engineering, but you really wanted to do mechanical. But now you're doing programming. Why did you leave school? Funds, right? Why? You are not interested again in the course. So you're doing programming now. But you just said to me that you're doing programming, you're using the funds to send yourself back to school. Okay, it's okay. Okay, you know what? You want to go back to school and study programming now, right? You've made up your mind that's what you want to study, right? Have you done your exams? Okay, but now you're doing programming. Okay, so you're on course. You're doing it now to make money, right? You're using money, you're saving money to go back to school, to have your degree. You have to have your degree. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. No matter, you cannot get anywhere without education. The programming that you're asking about, how do you get to the next level, how do you get to the next level, is knowledge, is education. That's what's going to help you through. You cannot achieve certain things without the basic education. You need those basic needs of education. You need to get there. You can't, I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a medical doctor. I ended up being a medical microbiologist. Today, I'm not using it. I am decorating the streets of Lagos at Christmas. I'm jumping from one tree to the other, pulling lights. I'm enjoying it. Am I making money? Yes. Do I regret the course I did? No. I'm applying it to the work I'm doing. So you need to go back to school, first of all. You need to have that, you need to make up your mind that you're going to get that degree. I need you to get that degree first. But that programming you're doing, do not stop. Take smaller courses as you're going on. Render services to corporate organizations. You'll be amazed at how much you'll make from there. So you have to keep innovating yourself. You have to keep challenging yourself. But I don't agree in you dropping out from school. Okay? Not for today. 10 years from today. You don't know what the future has in store for you. What if you're the next president of your generation? They now bring us and say you don't have, he doesn't have a certificate. Don't we see that on the internet these days? You want to be that embarrassed. Okay? So get that basic education first. The programming you're doing, focus on it. Don't be jack of many trades, master of none. Okay? If that's what you love doing, face it squarely, focus, and make 100% money out of it.
Last person.
I'm Serena. Please, ma'am, I have an issue with starting up a business. I presently have an idea to start a business, but there's this thing like a phobia, like you may not you may not do well, or you don't know about the sector, how are you going to start? And presently, I really don't have anybody that I can say, okay, this person will help me out, mentor me. Actually, presently, I'm studying food technology in school, but I'm also doing a part-time job. I teach kids, and I found out that I'm very passionate about seeing kids learn. But I also want to go into agriculture, like a business of my own. But that phobia of like, how are you going to do it? You don't know anything about it. So I don't know, what can I do? Please.
So you teach kids, that's a part-time job, right? Okay, you love teaching kids. Okay. But you want to go into agriculture. That's, you love agriculture. But you don't have an idea where to begin. Okay. Do you have a registered company first of all? When you're ready. Okay. So you know what you need to do first. You need to learn. You need to get as much information. What sector of agriculture do you want to go into? Do you know that? Sorry? Production of?
Food production and preservation.
So which company do you see in Nigeria that is in that line right now as we speak? I want to know if you've done your research. If you're really into this agriculture thing, you would have Googled all these questions I'm asking you. You would know which companies to send back to tell me as I'm asking you now that are into agriculture and are doing food production. Tell me, give me 2 companies, even one.
I know about Firo.
You know about?
Firo.
What do they do?
They produce, and they're into food engineering, that's production of equipment used in processing of food, and preservation machines also.
No, we're talking about food production, not equipment now. Which company do you know in Nigeria that does what you want to go into? So
well, the thing is that
no, let me help you. You want to go into food production, right? You want to go
Yes,
into
and
farming,
preservation.
agriculture, farming, and food production and preservation.
Yes.
Okay, let's take an example. Chi farms.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Also now of
Does that make sense to you? Hold
Yes.
on. Chi. Does that make sense to you?
Okay. Yes.
Chicken.
I haven't heard about
The
that.
Chi farms, Chi Vita, Chi farms, the Chi family, the Chi Vita, the Chi. Who doesn't know Chi farms here? She said she's never heard it. No. Please. We're all in different. Please. Can I have a silent house, please? In this room, we're allowed to ask any questions. She's allowed not to understand why she wants to do what she wants to do. She's allowed. So please, when we get to your own industry, we'll deal with the issues. You need to study. You need to go and study that agricultural bit you want to go into. It is huge. You need to know where, you need to streamline it. You cannot just wake up and say, I want to go into agriculture and food preservation and food production. No. When I started as an event planner. Listen to me so that this helps you. So, in your own case, you get a small piece of land. As an event planner, I was planning events, then I ventured into event decor. So, you can see that I'm still in the same industry, but I've branched out. Then I brought in what you call marquee, where I can build an event center anywhere in the country, fully air conditioned. I'm still in the same industry, right? Then I started Avant-Garde by Elizabeth R. I saw a loophole in the market where brides have to travel out to go and get dresses. Then I brought in wedding dresses and second dresses. Am I still in the industry? Then I started decorating Lagos State and states with companies during Christmas. I saw a gap where at Christmas everywhere was dull. Am I still in the same industry? Have I ventured out? Am I still in the same industry? But do I have branches? In the same industry, I have an event center that seats 2,000 people. So the weekend, you don't need me to be an event planner. You need me to be your event decorator. If I'm not your event decorator, you buy a dress worth 1.5 or 1 million naira from me. If it's not the wedding dress you're buying from me, you use my event center. Right or wrong? When it's Christmas time, if you want to light up your house, you have to send for me. Right or wrong? So in all season, at every point in time, rainy season, dry season, I'm making my money. Why? You need to learn and study the industry. Look for loopholes where you can make a difference and you can provide a service that nobody else is providing. So, do you understand what I mean by what I just explained to you? So, for you, you get a piece of land first, right? And that piece of land might look huge to you. Start with the plot. Start with something that is small. Even if it is a wedu, plant a wedu behind your house. Start to learn how to feed it, how to just maintain it. If you are not faithful in small, you can never be faithful in large. Now go and please sit down, thank you. Now go and understudy companies that are into that area you want to go into. And try and get somewhere where you can learn for a short while. And you would see that a lot of questions will be answered. You don't need so much money to start off. Honestly, people get scared. I didn't have, all the money I had was money for the registration of my company. I registered it and I didn't have any capital. But this is where we all miss it. I did what I call delayed gratification. Every profit I made, instead of buying something for myself, I invested in one chair. The following profit I made, I invested in 200 chairs. The other profit I made, I invested in, instead of, at the time, like I said to you, I could have bought myself anything I wanted to buy myself. By the time I started renting the chairs out, I made the money over and over and over and over again. Never dip your hand into your profit at the early stage of your business. It is a plan, it's a disaster. I hope I've answered your question. Thank you.
So, another round of applause for her. Make it louder now. You think it is easy to see her? All right. Like you said, we hope that by this time next year, we'll have testimonies. By this time next year, we'll have people who can come forward to tell us that they've achieved something. You know, at the beginning I said you should try to make this day a memorable day in your life. So, madam, you are most welcome. And next year, we'll be here together by the grace of God. God sparing our lives. So, you are most welcome. Okay. The last speaker, but one, you have the forms with you, right? We are given some forms. So please kindly submit the forms. The forms will be vetted, and your character traits and personality and necessary information about what you did there will be communicated to you in due course. So quickly do that. So We have one more program. That's the school admission aspect of it. But quickly, just go take your lunch and let's see how we manage that aspect. Just file out, take your meal quickly, and we return here. So in the next 20-25 minutes, you should be back here. Is that right? Are you with me? The next 20 minutes,